Bro, you on mute, bro.
Yeah, bro, you muted, bro.
Wow. This is how tired I am. I said, all right, let me mute everybody. I mute myself.
Hey, what's up, bro? How are you, bro?
Okay, bro. All right. So, anyways, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another webinar. I'm going to be breaking down gold, GJ, possibly SPX, and we're going to look at where we could see price head over the next few days. So, if you look at gold on the monthly time frame, there is clearly a lot of profit taking at this 2068 area, which we've seen gold go from 2070 all the way back down into practically 1800 flat. So definitely with the momentum on the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, and how everything is playing out so far, I'm actually going to expect gold to continue to go down and to continue to actually trade lower. So I'm actually going to be looking for gold to come back down into 1764, where as you guys could see, there is a area of support throughout this kind of entire range here at 1764. So this is going to be the next area I'm going to be looking for gold to actually trade down to, which is 1764 again, one more time. So now that gold is actually broken back under resistance at 1834, at this point in time, I would like to see if gold can actually pull back into this 1830 resistance and then look for gold to actually go down into 1764. As long as gold can kind of maintain under this 1833, 1840 area of resistance, pretty much this entire zone, I'm going to be continuing to look to actually sell. Even if price can actually maintain itself under this resistance area, I'll continue to look to sell from that point in time. But what I'm going to be looking for again is for pretty much a pullback into 1833 and then look to go short from there. Not really looking to do anything else here on gold because it is going to be pretty risky. But if you look at the 4-hour time frame as well, this is a previous 4-hour level of structure. There's a previous 4-hour low. So a pullback to this area would be pretty nice. And then from there, we could look for gold to go to 1760 in the long term, right? Now, if gold does break above this 1833, 1840 area, then we could look for gold to go back into this 1865 area, let's call it. But as of right now, that's kind of a way far from happening. So at this point in time, pull back into 1833, then look for price to come back down into 1764 support, let's call it, for like a bigger term perspective, just so you guys can have an idea where I could see gold potentially moving over the next few weeks to few days potentially. So there's 15 days left in the month, so let's see what actually happens. But as of right now, my outlook on gold is bearish and looking to continue kind of this entire bearish move here. Now, with GJ, kind of exactly what I had stated last time. These are the little things to actually look out for. So let's go into the weekly time frame. So pretty much this is what we talked about in the last webinar, where we can actually see GJ on the lower time frame, such as the daily and the 4-hour time frame, actually break under support. And by the time the week ends, there could be a candlestick that closes above, so it closes as tested. And at that point in time, that's a big rejection of our previous area of support. This should be something that's pretty easy to kind of spot, right? We have resistance, resistance, resistance. Right now, that previous area of resistance has now held as a level of support. So we can actually expect this week to go bullish and continue to trade higher, because essentially, the setup that we're looking at here from this weekly time frame would actually be something like this, putting it into perspective, where we have resistance being rejected 3 times, right? And then we have that initial break above, and then now price is right here. It's a clear as day. We're looking for a break and retest setup, and we're going to look to buy back up into these original highs over here. That is exactly what's going on right here. So it's simply just on a weekly time frame. So I'm going to be expecting GJ to go long. I wouldn't really look to buy now because, again, I kind of want to see some form of a little bit of a pullback here on this 4-hour time frame, especially that it's only 8 o'clock on a Sunday. You never want to trade on a Sunday before London session, right? We want to wait for that pullback, kind of back into this area of 158. Look for price to form some level of support and then look to buy there. And that will give us also a 3-leg extension where we could see price go up. Now, what could also happen is GJ kind of just consolidate Monday, Tuesday, and then continue to go up kind of Wednesday, which is typically when we see the direction price is supposed to be headed towards. Typically, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when we'll see price normally trend in the direction it was normally going to trend in. So we may see some consolidation, or we may see GJ just straight up fly. So Point is, when it comes down to GJ, I'm going to be looking to buy at this 158 area, let's kind of call it. As long as price can maintain above this 158 area, I'm going to continue to look to go long. Once price starts to break under like 157-ish, right, then I'll probably start looking to sell after that point there, right? So that was GJ. Now, SPX is a little bit different. So SPX is back into this area of resistance where we actually do have previous market structure, where we do have these 4-hour highs. So this is kind of like a little range that SPX is in right now. So looking at it from just a 4-hour time frame perspective, what we can actually look for when it comes to the New York session is we could look for a rejection of this resistance level for price to go back down to support. So essentially be taking a trade from here to here. Now, if price actually does break above this resistance area where we have our previous 4-hour highs, then the next setup would be to look for SPX to come into this 4150 range. So literally super simple, right? This is kind of the range here. So we have resistance, we have support, we have support here, and then we have resistance here. We're trading in between the range. So if price starts to break above this resistance area, wait for the retest, look for price to go to the next resistance area. If price rejects this resistance area, you're going to look for price to come back down into support. Literally as simple as that, especially at this previous structure here. If price does break above this area, I would definitely expect it to come back up into the previous area of support, which is kind of the more major area of support. But as of right now, price is kind of maintaining itself under. So the best setup I would look for right now is to kind of just look to short in this area tomorrow morning and look to short it back down into support. If again, you're going to be looking for buys, essentially what you're going to wait for is some form of a break and retest setup. So break and retest setups come in all different forms and sizes, really, right? This is a break and retest setup here where you see price actually break under and then pull back up, reject within that same 4-hour candlestick, continue to go down. So really how you're going to trade it ultimately is up to you as a trader. There's multiple ways you could trade it. Really, I'll be paying attention to like an hour time frame, looking for that break and retest setup if I was looking to actually buy. Now I'm going to continue to maintain my short bias unless, again, we see a break above. We need to see a clear break above, a retest, and then a rejection. From there, then we can actually look to buy SPX from that point in time. So does anybody have any questions for gold, GJ, or SPX?
Bro,
Bro.
first, it was a pleasure to meet everybody on the meet yesterday. It was crazy. And then on SPX, I have a question there.
Yeah.
So you said you were going to wait on the 1-hour time frame if we're looking to buy, right? A break and a clear break and retest on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
We apply the same concepts from the other pairs to the SPX
Yeah.
as is an index, so we can go to a 30-minute time frame and then look to have an entry, or is a little bit different?
You could ultimately, like, it's up to you. You're just going to see more detail on the 30-minute time frame versus
Mhm.
time frame.
Just asking because it's an index, is an index, so it's the best thing to do is trade on the New York session, right?
Yeah.
And I say that 9 o'clock that things go crazy, and
Yeah.
then I would ask the best thing to do is stick with a bigger time frame in that case as an index, or
I
it
mean,
depends.
you're going to trade very differently. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say
Mhm.
the higher time frames, like the 4-hour,
Yeah.
because you miss out on a lot of positions. And if you're trading the 4-hour time frame, essentially what you're doing is you're swing trading, right? So, like, example, here's support here. Notice how price closed back above support. Notice this 4-hour time frame came back down into support and then rejected and closed back above. That could be a form of a break and retest. You break it down to a 30-minute time frame, you see it here a little bit more clear. You see the break above support, the pullback into support, the rejection, and then price continue to go up from there.
Yeah. And in that case, we can apply the same thing into other pairs, or
Of course.
for this specific break and retest, like with the 4-hour candle, is good just on indexes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else have any?
Rob, were you looking for gold today? Tonight? I got here late.
I'm gonna wait for gold to give me a steep pullback into 1833 to look to sell.
Okay, got it.
Raul, question. What is your opinion on because you know like a lot of people like trading the 9:30 candle, right? Because it's like a lot of volatility.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the 3 p.m.? Because I heard at 3 p.m. it also shoots like really big too. So is that like an opportunity we could take?
It's the end of the day. I wouldn't trade the 3 p.m. candlestick for sure. Like when it comes to like indexes, you know, you're pretty much trading stock market hours. So I personally would focus more on the morning candlestick. Even then, like I'm very hesitant on taking trades during that 9:30 candlestick because the volatility is just insane. You'll see a huge wake up, a huge wake down. You know, you get stopped out prematurely, especially if you're trading like a heavy position size. Like it's very sketchy. So I would kind of, you know, you could wait after the 9:30 candlestick, or you know, you could trade before it. But ultimately, it's just you know you have to determine that risk.
So it's better not to get caught in the middle of that 9:30.
I mean, the 9:30 candlestick will like push price in your favor, or it could push price like heavily against it, right? So let's check out the last. So this is like 8 o'clock. It's like this is 9:30 right here. This is a 9:30 candlestick, right? So you had pretty much a big move down, then a big move up, and the price kind of continued going up. So ultimately, like the decision's up to you to make, but this is that 9:30 candlestick right here. So you know, let's check the last 9:30 candlestick. It should be like right here. So last time, I mean, you can even see it here. You had a huge wick up, and then price pushed down. I mean, ultimately, like these aren't too big. So we're looking at like the 5-minute time frames. But then there's times where like on the hour time frame, you see a fat ass candle like this, and then the next candlestick goes the complete opposite.
Yeah, it does that. It's wild.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like hard to determine where you're gonna get in because it doesn't like follow any type of like sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just a bunch of volume. But ultimately, like if you were to be trading this, right, and you'd be looking at SPX, you'd be looking to sell with the trend, right? You know, there's support here. You're gonna wait for that retest, that rejection. Once you see price reject, you know, then that's when you could go down if you're trading like an hour time for 50 minute. And then this would have been like your sell signal over here. Maybe some kind of stuff rejected.
So theoretically, I could use that 9:30 to push it to like a level where I could take a sell off of. It's like for that example, for example, since it was like moving, it was like going down below that level. It pushed it right up, and if I would have had like a order set right there, I would have like gotten tapped in, and it would have been like a solid trade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with those 9:30 candles.
Hey, Raul.
Good, bro. Because like, I mean, really quick, like if you look at it, right, 9:30 was like a complete counter trend, but then the 10 o'clock was price trending in the same direction it's supposed to go in, you know? So you can always be a little more patient with it. But really, I would just focus on the setup over anything. Yeah.
Wild.
All right, my bad. Did somebody else have a question?
Hey, Raul. Can you go over GJ because I came in a bit late?
Basically, I'm looking to buy. So I'm waiting for a pullback into 158 to look to buy up into 160 from there.
Hey, Raul, can you go over NAS, please?
It's kind of the same thing, essentially. So if you look at market structure, you know, there's resistance right here. If price rejects resistance, I'll wait for it to come back down to support, which is a big probability because then you can have that inverted head and shoulders form before price actually continues to go back up. So that's what I would continue to wait for. But if price breaks above this resistance area, I would wait for it. I would look for it to come into this 12,800 area.
Okay, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, can you look at it, please? Sorry.
Look at what?
EU.
I mean, with EU, I would just still continue to wait just because it's in this major zone. I would actually probably start setting myself up to look for buy positions. Yeah, I would continue to set myself up to look for buy positions at this point, unless it probably breaks under these lows. If it breaks under these lows down here, then I would start looking for sells at that point in time. So it's still in a major area of support. So I would continue to just kind of look for that bounce probably. But I mean, like, this is a weekly time frame, right? Look how many weeks it took last time for it to bounce. So it could just consolidate for quite some time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, can you go over GU?
GU, I would continue to wait for price. I would be looking for price to continue to pump down into support, which is down here. So it's not too far away. It's like 150-ish pips away support. So I would continue to look to sell into support. In terms of like a setup here, you know, you have this intraday support area. So you could look for that rejection of support to go back down into or previous support, wait for the holders resistance to go down into daily support. That's what I would wait for.
Oh yeah, Raul, I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on gold, right? I got 1810 as a level. Because when you go back like into the beginning of January, it held as like support and resistance on the 4 hour. $18.10. Yeah, that whole entire area.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like, this area is just like disgusting. It's choppy. To me, what I get the most out of this area here is the highs of the zone and then the lows of the zone. So I'll be looking for pricing moving between the highs and the lows of the zones.
Would you consider that as a level? Like that sort of like to your right a little bit? Yeah, right there.
I mean, yeah, you could, but I would say this is like a more important area.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So question on that. So even though that has that small resistance, you're still gonna, if you were to set your TP, you're still going for that major area, correct?
Probably not, bro, because like that's a huge move.
Oh yeah, because we're looking at the daily and the weekly, yeah.
190 pips. So
Got it. I see what you're saying.
I would wait for price to come up into this area and then, you know.
And then just go back to the lows?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
4 hour lows. So I'll wait
Gotcha.
to go back up into the 4 hour previous low and then look for down into this 4 hour low, which that would be my target.
Got it. Cool.
For, you know, weeks. But this
Yeah.
is zone that I'm looking at.
But you think that move's going to happen at London session or New York session?
I don't know. I think it'll probably take a few days for it to pull back. So today, tomorrow, might be doing the pullback. If it does pull back. And then Wednesday, we could look for it to come down because it's a 4 hour time frame. So we'll see. You know, it's not just gonna pump up and then pump right back down into the targets, you know, same session. I mean, it could, but it's not likely.
All right.
Yo, can you break down US 30?
It's the same thing as SPX, basically. As long as price can maintain under this resistance area, I'll look for that retest to sell back into support. If it breaks above this resistance area, I'll wait for it to come up or look for it to come up into the next resistance area with a break and retest. So 33,151.
All right, what level is that you got right there? 32,400.
Yeah, 33,400.
It's crazy. I had a resistance level right there too. I was waiting on it to come back to that. But gold is looking cleaner though.
Any more questions, anybody?
Yeah, question. It's not related to the chart, but it's more like a personal question. What's your opinion on like really tight stop losses? Because I personally I don't like stretching my stop loss too high because I feel like the more precise of an entry I could get, the tighter the stop loss, and then I could have a bigger lot size with the same amount of cash dollar risk. So do you think I should be letting my trades breathe a lot more, or is it okay to be like trying to like play in that zone?
You just got to look at the pros and cons, right? So in terms of like a more precise entry, yes, in theory, you'll have like a lower stop loss, but that's if, like, let's say you trade the same concept I do, support and resistance, supply and demand. The closer you get in on support or the closer you get into a trade on resistance, you'll be able to have a tighter stop loss than somebody who waits for a price action confirmation like an engulfing candlestick or a variation candlestick, right? And you'll be able to use an increased stop loss or an increased lot size in turn. But then, you have the possibility of looking for, stop or getting stopped out early and then price going in your favor. And the question to you, then you have to ask yourself is, are you going to get back into the trade, or like, is that going to be, that's where you got stopped out and that's it. So for a reference, basically what I'm saying is, let's say price does pull back into this area over here, right? And we're looking to buy, right? Let's say you get in right here, your stop loss has to go under support. So let's say you decide to put it under these lows, right? This is going to be your stop loss range right here if you pretty much get in right at the level itself, right? So let's go long. Your stop loss, let's say, is going to be right here. So let's say that's 140 pip stop loss. This is the target you're looking for. That's if you're getting in at that area. So yes, even though the stop loss size is pretty appropriate, right, you're getting more risk to reward ratio out of it. So personally, with this, I'd play stop losses a little bit bigger just to be as safe as I possibly can, because you're going to get a better risk reward ratio regardless versus somebody, who's kind of stressing over the 1 and 2. Now, let's say you wait for that bullish engulfing candlestick and you end up buying maybe somewhere, I don't know, let's call it like right here, because that's how big the engulfing was. Yeah, you're going to have to use a bigger stop loss, although the stop loss is in the same price range. You know what I mean? And you have a decreased reward ratio now. So, it's kind of up to you. As long as your stop loss is still in a good area, then it doesn't really matter if its stop loss is small or not. But I wouldn't really, in terms of like a tight stop loss, I'd be very cautious using tight stop losses, because your stop loss is your stop loss. You put it in an area where if price hits that point, the trade is most likely invalid and you want to get out anyways.
Yeah, like what? Because how to like rephrase it a little bit? Because I only get in at prices that I like. I'll be like, this is the price that I want, and this is the price the only price that I'm accepting. If the market doesn't move my price, and I just missed opportunity, and I don't freak out about it. I'm like, whatever, right? I just wait for the next opportunity. But because of that, like I like having really, really not tight stop losses. It's not like I have like a super tight stop loss to where like that trade would be like a 1 to 15, but it'd be to a level of support. But I'd get in right at that level.
Yeah, I basically do the same exact thing.
Okay. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, can you break down Euro JPY?
So Euro JPY. Euro JPY on the weekly time frame, you have a rejection of these weekly resistance area. So, immediately I would look for price to continue to go up from this point in time. But the only issue with that would be is I would kind of wait for a pullback on the 4-hour time frame, look for that kind of break of the previous highs. So basically right here, if price actually pulls back into that range, right from this point, and then after the break, I would look for that retest and then look to buy here just to be sure that, we could see price continue to go up from that area. But I would continue to look to buy it with the weekly time frame unless price starts to break under that weekly level of previous resistance, which is 133.970. Once price starts getting into like the 133.500 or 133, 132.500 or 133 flat, let's call it. Then from there, I would start looking to switch my bias and go short.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So, any more questions, or is everybody good to go?
Yo,
I'm good.
Raul, what up, brother?
What's good, bro?
All right, so I have a question on in general trading. When the market seems to be dropping, like for example, right now, I just pick indices, and the market hasn't been able to give me like a solid pullback or like a solid move, because the market's just been going on a meltdown, and I don't see where to make anything happen. But I've been trying to practice on it as well. So what would you recommend?
In a situation where the market isn't giving you like solid pullbacks, the best thing to do is just wait, because sometimes just holding on to your cash is a position itself. Cash literally is a position. You don't always got to be in a trade, especially, you know, why would you put good money behind bad risk?
And my bad, brother. My internet cut off and I got back in. Didn't hear you.
Basically, what I said was sometimes it's always just better to wait, and that holding on to your cash and not taking your trades is a position itself.
I see. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bro, yeah, that was a good gym.
Yeah.
Because I found myself like when I was like trying to take too many trades, like just getting in the trade just to get in the trade. Horrible idea.
You're gonna lose money.
Oh yeah, donating. But bro, I got a quick question about Athens, right? So I just switched to Athens and did my first little withdrawal, small withdrawal. And I got approved on Friday for the withdrawal at like 5 p.m. I still ain't got no money yet. So you think?
Yeah, 'cause I requested another withdrawal too, and I was talking to customer support, and they said they're doing a wallet transfer right now, so withdrawals are delayed.
When did you do your withdrawal?
On Friday too, I did 2 withdrawals.
Okay, did you got one of them or you?
I got one of them, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I did the other one late as hell because I had to.
Yeah, me
I
too.
didn't have a phone number up there, so when I tried to do it around noon, so I had to wait for the phone number to get verified first to send a little pin.
Oh no, I did one like at 11:30 at night.
And then you did your second one when?
The first one was super early in the morning. Like I requested.
Oh, you did your second one Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like too alarmed because it's not a large amount, but you know, I'm just testing it out just to see what.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the withdrawal too.
All good.
Raul, question. When it comes to GJ, when do you find is like the best time to trade it for you personally?
London session. I like GJ. Straight London session.
That's tough for me.
Yeah, and you can also trade GJ in New York session. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because I was like, I trade New York, so I'm out to be here for like 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Best thing I used to do with GJ is I would kind of ride the move from London to New York noon.
I don't know. I've always just liked New York better.
Yeah, I'm gonna start switching over to New York. I'm tired of so late now.
Yeah, New York is the best.
I like New York. I like gold and GJ. Gold and US 30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, like those.
I just like New York because like if I'm trading London, like my boy trades London, like his sleeping schedule is horrible. Like he's awake when everyone's asleep. He lives in the night. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But I just kept missing all the London moves because it's hard because like I would stay up studying, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to master it, learn it, and then you know I go to sleep at 1 o'clock and try to wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I don't go so well.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's cool though. We about to have a big week. Everybody gonna break some records this week. Because Raul, gold, I kind of folded on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, wait, we didn't have the webinar Thursday. US 30, I had like a position, and I was doing the compound where I was risking 1.5% on this trade to make. I was risking 3% to make 6%, and I would have passed the challenge. Bro, I needed about $300 more on like a 50K account to pass, and then it started with retracing, and so I was up like 2,800, and then it got to 1,000, and I cut the trade. I was like, man, this joint retracing. I was like, just wait, and then it kind of went towards my entry and tanked all the way down, bro.
That's tough.
I don't know, but I was like, well, I wasn't mad though. I was like, man, you know what? I had a bigger position, so you know I was being cautious. I secured 2%, and so I was like, I'm gonna just wait on the next setup.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna just wait. But damn, that's the thing you gotta kind of like when you get like When did you say you move your stop loss into break even?
I mean, it depends on the trade, really. Typically, like I like to do it based off of structure. So if price is breaking its lows and it's going to continue to go down, I'll move my stops to break even. Or once I'm up like 2-3 times my risk, I'm going to move my stops to break even. Sometimes I move my stops to break even after 1-1. It just depends.
I got you.
Raul, what's your usual like risk to reward?
I try and always aim for at least like a 3-1, but on average, maybe like a 2, 2.5. When you balance it out over the period of few trades.
And do you think it's like dumb to shoot? Because like I don't know if it's dumb because this is what I personally been like testing out for like the last month. Like I just like getting like one good trade. Like if I could get one good trade, then I'm done. Like I just will stop trading. Like it usually be like a 1-6.
I'm not saying it's bad, no, but it's different method of trading.
Okay.
Yeah,
Quality over quantity.
1-6 is strong, bro.
It is.
When Rashad was saying his question, it reminded me of something. When it comes to because like me personally, when I set my positions, I just I'm like Alex's code, set it and forget it. I literally do not touch it. If it hits my stop loss, it hits it. If it hits my take profit, it hits it. Right, and then I just adjust, move my stop loss to break even depending on how much the position's moving and if I think it's going to test it again. Right?
I would think it's always good to have like a active trade management because although like the set and forget concept is like cool, right? You don't want to be like up.
Ignore it. Yeah, not set and ignore.
Target and still have open risk on the table. You know what I mean?
That's a great that's a great saying and all, but man, listen, if you up, let's just say you're risking $2,000 on a position, and you're up 15K.
Of course.
Don't let that 15K go to negative 3,000.
Yeah, no, I'm not greedy because like the two things I always worked on first was psychology and risk management, and my strategy always lacked, but I had those two things down, right? So I never I don't freak out about positions and I don't get greedy. It's more to the fact where it's for my risk management because I'm trusting my winners because a lot of people trust their losers more than their winners. They let their losers go into drawdown, they keep searching their stop loss thinking it's going to turn around, right? I just bet on my winners because that winner can account for maybe 3 to 4 losses in the future that I have because of how market is moving, right? So one of my questions was going to be, do you obviously you want to active trades management because I'm not just leaving the position there, forgetting about it. I'm managing the position, but I'm not looking at every single dollar that goes up and wanting to get out of the position. When's that pivot point for you where you're like, okay, I'm up enough, I should just leave because I think the trade's about to bounce and go the opposite way?
I would say that also just depends on the setup too, right? If you're going to be aiming for big trades like that, 6-1, you definitely want to be trailing your stop loss. So I would just try and find a system for yourself and your own trading methodology on how you're going to trail your stop losses for those big trades.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I think every trade is different, man. It just depends on how it's looking. Because I was in the US 30 trade, so US 30 can reverse so quick, and so I was like, man, y'all know how I could get, and I just was like, let me secure some positions. Was like, I secured 2%. I'll risk this 2% on my next trade and go for a 1-2. But I think that that compounding the profits for your future trades on a smaller scale really helps grow an account pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, especially
if you're doing it on the funded challenge, I would not risk no more than 3%.
I risk 1%. It's just especially for the challenge, you want that extra little win if you get a trade multiple times during the day because then you draw down it's a little bit, you have a little bit more wiggle room, especially when you get those winners.
But really, if you do it that way, the way I'm talking about, you only need to win 2 trades in a row. Literally, just go on a 2-trade winning streak and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't know if this is I just personally found a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, the way US 30 was moving, it was literally just playing in a range for over a day, right? And I was just getting in these insane positions with a 50-point stop loss, right? And over 500 point take profit, and they were hitting like back to back to back to back, like all of them, right? Because they were just respecting that range like so hard, and like those are like the times I really like trading that tight stop loss that I was talking about, because it's like very low risk and then insane upside.
Yo, Raul, quick question. How long did it take you to pass your first FTMO challenge? Just wondering.
I don't know, like minimum 10 days. I mean, but I don't know, about maybe like 2 weeks.
What's your risk management on those funded services? Do you like blitz it? Like you're just like, like 3% here and then hopefully like passes, or like you go like slow and steady?
No, like I'll start off like a 2% risk. If it hits, then I'm already up 4%. It's typically what I'm looking at. So if I'm up anywhere between 2 to 4%, I'm just gonna risk another 2%, maybe even 2.5% until I pass. But once I start dropping under, like let's say I lose that first trade and I lose that first 2%, then what I'll do is I'll start risking 1% to try and gain those 2% back.
And you never go below 1%. Like they say someone's in his car right now, like sitting at like 92, right? And they need to like get their account back. Like what would they do?
Bro, I mean, if you really want to save it, you're gonna go with a 0.5% risk, and then all the way you build up until you get to 5%. Once you get to 5%, I would probably start risking 1% again.
Okay.
Hey, Raul.
Hey, Raul.
What's good, bro?
Can we go over GJ real quick, and I can tell you my setups, and can you correct me afterwards?
Sure.
Alrighty, cool. While I was doing my top-down analysis off the weekly, I saw there was a bearish move all the way to the downside, and that had a resistance. I had a support at 156.62. At that, my resistance is at 163.19. And if we go down to the daily, I had placed the 1 hour, I'm sorry. Off the 1 hour, I had placed my minor support at 158.35 and my minor resistance at 159.92. And while I was looking, I saw there was kind of a bearish market, bullish market at that. Then the blue SMA crossed over to 20. I figured while it did, price did retest it, broke through as that broke above my minor support. Or now I'm thinking it's going to retest that minor support again at 158.35 at the head all the way up to 159.92. Would that be possible or no?
159.92.
Yeah.
So 159.92 is like right here.
Yeah, basically where your line is.
And you're looking for a pullback into where?
My pullback would be to 158.35.
Yeah, I'm pretty much waiting for the same thing.
Oh, okay, cool. I appreciate it. Also, question.
Yeah.
While you first started trading, have you ever been through the moment where you just started trading at that out of nowhere, you just forget, not forget everything, but the basics, the fundamentals?
I mean, there's times where you get lost because you're focused on too many other things. That's when you gotta like take a step back and just go over your foundation again.
Okay. Gotcha. Appreciate it, Chief.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Oh, question, and this was about the meetup. So when I was at the meetup, and there was like no type of shirt, and they said that we could email someone because the only shirt they had was like a double XL, and I wear like a medium on a good day.
Yeah.
Right? So where like do we email? Because they said we have to like email someone, or like that we have to email and like request a shirt or something.
That's weird. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, more shirts will come out once like everything launches and everything's good to go.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul.
Okay, bro.
Hey, would you recommend trading the EA on Athens?
No, because you can't. There's no MT4. But you can use any other brokerage that has MT4.
How
Okay,
come
thank you.
Athens is only MT5? Is it because like they just want to like transition to like the new like platforms, like make people use it? Like how come?
Probably. A lot of people I've seen some brokers not support MT4 because Medicos is going to stop supporting MT4. So I don't know if they don't want to invest the money into a platform that's no longer going to have support, or they just want people on MT5. I'm not sure, bro. But yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Have you heard about Hero FX?
Hero